Hi again, I'm Lisa and here's Khaleesi and we're going to be doing a movie review of A Promising Young Woman. So let's get started. A Promising Young Woman is about a girl named Casey. She is very lost and sad after the loss of her friend Nina. Her and Nina were childhood best friends and both wanted to be doctors when they grow up. But unfortunately, in med school, they both unfortunately have to drop out when Nina is raped. After having no one believe her and having no support from anyone except for Casey, Nina has nowhere to turn and is very lost and sad and eventually, unfortunately, commits suicide. Cassie is grief-stricken and completely lost without her best friend, decides not to rejoin her classmates in med school, and eventually moves in with her family and works at a coffee shop. So the movie is based when Cassie is a little bit older and is working at this coffee shop. She still seems very lost. She still seems very upset about the loss of her friend, and there seems to be no way to console her. Her family seems very worried about her. She doesn't have much contact with other people, except for at night. At night, you see Cassie dressing up very sexually, very provocatively, and she pretends to be extremely drunk and disoriented and inebriated, and she attracts creepy men. These men actually pick her up, and a lot of them take her home whilst she's still very much under the influence, and you see that she's playing a trick on them and trying to entrap them. And what she does is once they bring her home and they try something, she pretends to sober up, I guess, and confronts them about what they are about to do. You see this happen to multiple different men. And during the day, Cassie seems normal, goes to work, no issues, dresses fairly casually, and then at night, again, she goes out and attracts these men. Upon hearing about Nina's rapist, Al Monroe, coming back into town and getting married, this sets Cassie off into a rage, and she decides that she's gonna get revenge not only on Al, but also everyone who had part in Nina's death. There's this interesting balance you see in Cassie. You see her every day in these pastel colors, bright pinks, kind of looking childish almost, and then you see her at night looking way more provocative, way more sexualized, way more adult, I guess you could say. I think it's a balance between who she used to be and who she had to become after the trauma and after the hurt of losing her best friend. This can represent the loss of innocence she may have felt when losing her best friend to such a traumatic event, as well as the over-sexualization that she feels men put on women. Obviously, this traumatic event made her very cynical, made her very angry, and made her very dark inside. And that took away a lot of her loss of innocence, as I've mentioned, and it changed her into a different person entirely. This movie talks about something that's very serious and that happens a lot and that not a lot of people can take as seriously as it should be. It's a very hard movie to watch, as there's a lot of people in this film that try to justify the actions, try to protect themselves, try to be defensive, and it just is really hard to see someone going through something so hard with no one else to be there by their side to support them. The way Cassie takes revenge is in a way where she's able to show them the severity of their actions, as well as inflicting the same kind of pain and emotion that Nina must have felt at that time. This movie shows the effects that rape can have on a person, but also the effects that suicide can have on everybody. It's a very serious and stern movie. It does have some lighthearted moments. It does have some parts where it seems a little happy and like that things are going to turn around and that things are going to be for the better. But then there's also some moments where you think that nothing's ever going to be better and the world is a dark and scary place and we should all stay at home under the covers. It really shows that everyone has a part to play after someone has been through something like this, and that if you stand by and do nothing about it, then you are a part of the problem. This movie really does show the entire spectrum of human emotion. It shows grief, sadness, rage, revenge, love, lust. It really does show everything that a person can feel in one film. Especially in the eyes of Cassie. It really does show what she goes through in a very realistic and well-depicted way, I find. It shows how a person could feel when losing a friend in such a way, and it really does show such a good way of explaining the anger that you might feel towards other people when something like this happens to you or even to someone else. It's such a hard thing that not a lot of people understand, thankfully, and hopefully never will have to. But this is such a serious topic, and the movie does a great job of expanding how it looks on the outside as well as on the inside. Carey Mulligan played Casey, and I think she did a fantastic job. She showed the whole range of human emotions, like I said, and she did a great job of depicting how it would feel to lose a friend like this. She does a great job of being angry and hurt at the same time. You can really see it on her face, and she's very cynical, and you can tell it's very hard for her to open up and trust people once again, especially men. It's like you could really feel what she's going through, and you can really feel what it would be like to be in her shoes. This movie really does such a great job at talking about such a serious topic. It really kind of portrays what it's like for a woman to go through something like this or have someone around to go through something like this. It's not easy for anybody involved, and it really shows the fear, the pain, and the distress that happens and how hard it is for someone to come forward. But if you've ever been in this situation, please always come forward. Please always talk to somebody, as this is something you should never go through alone. I loved this movie. I had very little problem with it. I thought it kept me on the edge of the seat the entire time. It was well thought out, well scripted, well acted. I thought everyone in it did an amazing job. There's Alison Brie as well as Carey Mulligan, and even Bo Burnham, for some of you who know him, and personally I'm a fan. It does a great job at talking about something so serious and really bringing forward topics that are uncomfortable to talk about, and I think everybody needs to see this film. I give it an A+. Thanks for coming to my review. I hope you liked it. Go see Promising Young Woman. It's a must-see. I think everyone will really enjoy it. It's on Cineplex Store as well as YouTube, and I hope you liked my review. If you didn't, leave a comment, a suggestion. Please leave a like and a subscribe if you really enjoy my channel, and I hope to see you next week with the next movie. Thanks.